Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Here with our daily free pick. So, got our third in a row yesterday. It was an easy one. It was really nice actually to cover an over before the second inning's over. Actually, there was a no out in the top of the second inning when we covered that. So, awesome pick. And congratulations for those of you who actually made it to the end of my video. I know some of you guys get the pick and bail out, but this whole free pick thing is about providing you guys with information and giving you guys the tools to win going forward. So that when you're making your own picks, you can think back and say, oh, I heard Ryan say this, this, or this. And then, make more informed decisions, guys. We're trying to win on a long-term thing. So hopefully you're using this as a tool to learn and not just, get some free picks and off you go. So, if you stuck around to the end of the video yesterday, you would know that I said it'd be a good pick to take Texas money line 135. I think you can get it probably 135, 140. But anyways, that came in. It was a roller coaster of a game. But exactly what I said in the video, guys. The games where the underdogs come in, they're going to be the high-scoring games. And where the high totals, high expectation of runs, those are the games you want, guys. So, a couple quick things. I just found out that Vegas won Saturday and Sunday. They won in college and they won in NFL. Their biggest win, and I think what swung them over from a potential loss over to a win, was actually Washington doing that last second cover. That was their biggest reported win of the day. So once again, Vegas wins. We'll beat them one day. Hopefully you guys weren't part of that statistic, but that's what we're here for, right? Trying to make this better and onward and upward. Side note, I heard that somebody walked into Planet Hollywood and laid a $10 bet at 2,000 to 1 on Miami to win the Super Bowl. I can think of a lot of things to do with $10. Putting them on the Dolphins, not one of them. Actually, probably rolling it up and throwing it into a sewer grate would probably give you more entertainment value than betting on the Dolphins. But I heard Planet Hollywood and I'm thinking there could be alcohol involved in that decision making. So anyways, guys, I'm going to get into it today. There's so much value today. So much value. I was really trying to narrow it down. So I narrowed it down to 3 potential games out of 9 games that I like. And of those 3 games, I went back and forth on which one to give you guys. Because I always want to give you guys the absolute best pick. You're getting my best pick always. So I narrowed it down to 2. And then I was going over these nonstop. And then I started going back over the third one again. And that came back into the mix. So I decided at the end of the day, and I know I said I wasn't going to do this, guys. I'm going to give you guys 3 picks today. Okay, I know this is supposed to be just a daily pick, but I think there's a lot of valuable information in all of these games that you guys can extract from this. So I'm going to give 3 picks, and hopefully we'll carry on. We're going for 4 in a row, so hopefully we'll have a winning day here, anyways, guys. But the first game, it's an early game, and it goes at I believe 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's Arizona at the New York Mets. So we have a situation here, doesn't occur very often. We have under umpire and what's called an under pitcher. So under pitchers are pitchers when you have an under umpire, how they perform with an under umpire. How do they perform with an umpire who allows them, larger strike zone, a little bit of leeway. Some pitchers are better at working umpires than others. So pitchers sometimes realize when a strike zone is expanded, and they can make this work for them. So one of those pitchers that's actually really good at that is Marcus Stroman. So with Stroman going tomorrow and an under umpire, going back, this is actually, and it's a decent sample size, it's actually a 74% winner, which is insanity. I think that if this continued to play out, because the situation doesn't present itself too often going back the last 10 years, where you have an under umpire with a pitcher that really knows how to work them. But we want a large enough sample size that we can, determine that, yes, this is a valuable model, right? Just using models with small sample sizes is a recipe for disaster because you have to eliminate variance. But I'm confident in this. the other nice thing that kind of reinforces that is we had a reverse line move. So despite a lot of money coming in on the over, despite a lot of money coming in and a lot of bets coming in on the over, the line actually dropped. Okay, so that it's counterintuitive. Normally, again, if you wrap your head around this, as I'm trying to do right now, if a lot of money comes in on the over, normally Vegas is going to want to even that out, so they're going to raise the line up. So the line might go from 8.5 up to 9, trying to get some more money on the under, unless they want money to come in on the over. And that's what a reverse line move is. So despite this money coming in on the over, there's some smart money that's already come in on the under, so they dropped that line from 8.5 down to 8. So that's going to be our pick. We're going to take, for game number 1, Arizona New York Mets, under 8. And just a side note, actually, Stroman with under umpires in the last 2 years, 4-0. So again, that's too small a sample size. We're going to put, a lot of value into that, but that's a side note. All right. Lot to cover, guys. Second game, Kansas City at Chicago. Now we have another unique combination of under umpire and an under stadium. So those are both self-explanatory. I've already in past videos covered what an under umpire is. Basically, I have a lot of new subscribers, so not to drone on, but an under umpire is basically an umpire. It's exactly what it says. He throws a profitable amount of under games, or he's in enough games where they're under to make it profitable just betting on him. So when I look at an under umpire, I want a larger sample size, and I want to see at least 55-56% unders. So the combination here with an under umpire and an under stadium is 57%. Okay, so right off the bat, that piqued our interest. Now we're seeing a lot of money on Kansas City and Chicago White Sox coming in on the over. I mean, just Kansas City and Chicago, it sounds like an over game. I mean, it does. Like, just the thought of those two teams, it just sounds like an over game. So, under umpire, under stadium, 57%. Now we have a crosswind coming from the left. So I wouldn't even be able to tell you the exact correlation of what a crosswind does to a ball. I can tell you obviously if wind is blowing in or blowing out, but there's something about crosswinds that affect the over and under in game, like big time. So a crosswind from the left. So actually, if anyone out there knows, like a crosswind coming from the left forces unders, and I can't wrap my head around it completely. So if there's anyone out there that actually knows that, like, feel free to comment, because I'd love to know. But anyways, guys, a crosswind from the left bumps that number up to 63% under. Now, when that wind is 5 to 10 miles per hour, it bumps it up even higher to 66%. So again, guys, under these conditions, we're talking about a game that will win with the under umpire and under stadium at 57% of the time, all the way up when you factor in the crosswind, going at 5 to 10 miles per hour up to 66%. So if we take the average of those two, we're looking at a game that we could expect to win hopefully about 60% of the time. We like the fact the public's on the over, so we're going to be on the under, guys, under 8.5. And then lastly, and this was on my radar, but because of recent circumstances, now it's really on my radar. And that's the football game tonight, guys. We had Tampa Bay open up at 6.5. No money came in on Tampa. I mean, no money, like nothing. Everything's coming in on Carolina. All the bets are on Carolina. All the money's on Carolina, and that includes a lot of sharps as well. There's a bit of sharp money on Tampa. I'd say it's probably the only money that's on Tampa because all the public money right now is on Carolina. But if we take a look at specifically early on in the season, so when an early division dog getting less than 50% of the money, stay with me. I told you guys I was going to have to read some stuff. I made so many notes. Early season, so in September, games played in September, division rival getting less than 50% of the money is hitting 63.8% of the time. They're covering the spread 63.8% of the time, going all the way back to 2006. Now, just to make sure those numbers aren't skewed, I ran it from 2016 up to this year, and it's hitting 63% right on the nose. So not a lot of variance there, actually. It's very, very close. Sometimes you want to check models, because sometimes you have models that are like, really old, and you want to make sure they're still relevant. The game evolves, games change. You want to make sure that like they're still relevant. Using just this model, which is like the September games, division rivals, less than 50% of the bets and the money on them in week 1 went 4-1. So, I mean, that's not a long-term indication, but this number as a whole is a long-term indication. So, this game, the other thing that I really like, I mean, there's definitely smart money on Tampa. There's definitely smart money on Carolina. There's no question about that. But there is smart money on Tampa Bay as well. So it's kind of mixed. So it's not like I can say, oh, the sharps are all over this game and that. No, because there's a little bit here and there. There's a ton of public money on Carolina. But the thing that strikes me is that all this money coming in on Carolina, all this money coming in, and Vegas doesn't move the line. They keep it at 6.5. They keep it there. They keep it there. They keep it there. So here we are, game day, and the money just keeps coming in on Carolina. It doesn't stop. It's nonstop. So now what Vegas has done now is they bumped that line to -7. Okay, they want the money. They want the money on Tampa. They want the money on Carolina. They think Tampa is going to cover this game. Okay, but they've got so much money on Carolina. It's time to cover our exposure in Vegas. They're happy now with the amount of money they got on Carolina. It's why they didn't move the line earlier, because they still wanted more money. But they've thrown in the towel. They've said, no mas. They're going to try and get a bit of money on Tampa Bay to even this out a little bit. Vegas is smart. They want to win money, but they don't want to get crushed. Okay? They don't like going into the weekend already being down. So they're going to try and even this out, guys. Now that the line has moved to 7, I'm more than comfortable jumping on Tampa Bay in this game. Okay? So one more little tidbit about this game, because this is extraordinary. Now, I mentioned the other statistic, the division game where teams have less than 50%. So if you take out all the other equations, this is an amazing stat. If this is going back 15 years almost. 14 years. Okay, this is going back 14 years, guys. Teams that have less than 20% of the bets, which right now Tampa Bay has exactly 20% of the bets, and less than 20% of the money. So they have 17% of the money right now. On the road, those teams are 14-1. 14-1. Because almost never does a team get like that few bets. So anyways, guys, that's our 3 picks for today. I'm trying to cover it off as fast as I could. So like, I hope that, that's in depth enough for you guys. If you have any questions or anything, definitely, ask in the comments. The first game, again, is an early game. The second game, afternoon game, I think I didn't write it down. I think it's at 3:30. And then obviously the football games in the evening. So guys, just to recap, our 3 plays. We have the New York Mets, under 8. The Chicago White Sox, under 8.5. And Tampa Bay, +7. We're only taking those games at those numbers or better. So, I mean, if it goes to +7.5, by all means, take that. But we're not, if these numbers change, if the Mets go to 7.5, if Tampa Bay goes to, sit back to 6.5, if the White Sox game goes to, under 8, we're not taking them, guys. These are the numbers. They're good. That's what we're comfortable. That's where we have the edge. So we're not comfortable with anything but Tampa Bay +7, Arizona, New York Mets, under 8, Kansas City, Chicago, under 8.5. All right, guys. We're going for 4 in a row. I don't know, maybe potentially more. Guys, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate all the support, all the amazing comments, guys. Thank you very much. Feel free to comment, leave a like, and as always, guys, have a very lucky day.